Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Come check out the latest deals. When you go Green Ford. And also brought to you by McEver Road United Methodist Church. With 3 services every Sunday morning, Kids Town, adult education small groups, and community outreach, McEver Road UMC is dedicated to transforming the world through the gospel of Jesus Christ. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We start things off on this particular show with basketball. And the North Hall Trojans took a 27-3 record into the game against top-ranked and unbeaten LaGrange in the state semifinals, and they proved they belong with the state's elite, going toe-to-toe with the Grangers, and stayed within 2 points after 3 quarters. The final, though, was 60-49, Grangers on top. North Hall was outshot 77% to 23% in the fourth quarter. Chandler Coker led the Trojans with 19 points, while Trevor Ross had 11 points and 4 rebounds. Robert Humphrey had half a dozen rebounds to go with as many points, and Chase Siphon had 7 boards. The Trojans finish at 27-4 on the year, and I guess essentially tied for third in the state. Not a bad year. Earlier this week, Coach Benji Wood dropped by our HCS TV studios.
Well, it's kind of an overwhelming experience when the kids get out there in that big Coliseum. And LaGrange jumped out to an early lead, and we settled down a little bit and made a run. Every time we'd make a run and we appeared as if we were about to get over the hump, they would make a big play. So it was a back and forth type game, and it was really about a 2 to 5 point game until the very end. And they made a little run right there, and then we had to gamble a little bit and just weren't able to get back over the hump at that point. Well, they were athletic enough to really, lock down our three-point shooters, and they got out on the perimeter and did a really good job of defending out there. And then we went to the hole, and we got a few things at the hole, but their athleticism eventually just caught up. And in those type of games, you have to make a lot of plays. And, our kids played extremely hard, busted their tails out there, but we just left a few opportunities out there that we couldn't convert on. And that's the game of basketball. You don't always shoot the ball well night in, night out. And unfortunately, we just weren't able to overcome that hump there. We're always a great team. And Chandler Coker had 19, Trevor Ross had 11, I believe, and Lance White did a great job all night. Just handling the pressure and distributing the ball like he always does. And our seniors don't get enough credit for all the dirty work they do. Chase Siphon and Trevor Ross and Robert Humphrey, the defense that they play and the charges they take and the deflections they get, they don't get enough credit for all those things. Well, these seniors are the first group to come all the way through, and we calculated up in 4 years they've won 84 games. The school record for wins before this year was 21, and they've averaged 21 wins over their 4 years. So that tells you a little bit about this group. And what they are is there's no Division I basketball players there, but there's 6 kids who are willing to bust their tail, play great defense, and play unselfish basketball, and do whatever it takes to win. And that's just, a great compliment to those young men and their character. Well, I told them, at the end of the season, there's only one team that's going to win their last game. Only one team, so everybody's going to be disappointed at the end of the season. Obviously, we wanted to play one more night. We wanted to make it the championship game. We just weren't able to do that, and that's life. Sometimes things don't go your way. We've had a great ride, and I told them to keep their heads held high, be proud of themselves and what they've accomplished and how they always did it with class. And so we picked our heads up, walked back to the hotel. When we get back to the hotel, there's probably 300 North Hall fans there giving us a standing ovation, which tells you, what these young men have done for the community, and they were all out there and in great support. And I just can't say thank you enough to the entire North Hall community.
Now, LaGrange did not win the state championship. That happened to go to Columbia, who also won the AAA Girls Championship. Other boys basketball champions. In 5A, Milton. In 4A, it was Miller Grove. In AA, it was Greater Atlanta Christian. And in Class Single A, Wesleyan won it. On the girls' side, in 5A was Norcross. Southwest DeKalb won 4A. As I mentioned, AAA went to Columbia. AA went to the folks from just down the road, Buford, who repeated as state champions. And Wesleyan, in addition to winning the boys' championship, also won the girls' championship. We take you out to the ball game after these timeouts.
Are you struggling to get where you really want to be in life? Then get on the fast track to success at Lanier Technical College with 5 campuses, day, evening, and online classes, and many tuition fees paid for by the Hope Grant. There's no better way to get where you really want to be. Now more than ever, high-paying employers are looking for highly trained individuals with hands-on technical training. So stop struggling and get moving. Lanier Technical College. Get ready. Go!
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
We are back. Hall County Sports is the show. High school baseball. Just this past Monday, the Chestatee War Eagles went to 5-0 on the season after winning a 12-10 slugfest with West Hall. Senior Kevin Clifford went 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 RBI, and came on late in the game to pitch and pick up the save after Alex Moore got the win in relief. Scott Tuning went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI as the War Eagles pounded out 10 hits. After the game, our Jimmy Giles had a chance to speak with Clifford and fellow senior James Kibler, as well as Coach Wes Gentry.
Tonight's game, it was a sloppy win, but you know, we've proven that we can come out here and play sloppy and still find ways to win, so I think that's good. We're doing everything great. We're swinging the bats great. We're playing good defense. Our pitching's getting there. It's mainly what we need to improve on, but overall we're playing real good. Still got some things I need to work on. Need to get in the cage, swing the bats a little bit better, throw some more strikes, definitely. Well, basically we were just trying to improve on the last 3 seasons here at Chestatee. We haven't had that many good seasons over the past 3 years, and we're just trying to build and get better and possibly make it a state.
Pitching, we had a little bit too many walks, but we need to work on getting ahead in the count, but overall we swung the bat real good, played good in the field. Well, obviously I expect a lot more out of myself than anybody else just because, you know, but being a senior is great. I mean, we're trying to be a leader, lead by example. We're just trying to make some noise out in the sub-region, win sub-region possibly, maybe go to state, who knows.
It's a sloppy win, but you know, it puts us at 5-0. We're in a pretty good spot going into region play. So, you know, anytime you can come out and not play your best and still come away with the W and hit the ball as well as we did, that's really what saved us tonight, was our bats. You know, we'll take that as a coach. It makes you toss and turn, but same time it makes you sleep a little better at the same time, if that makes sense. So it was a good win all the way around, I think. We've been working really hard over the past 2 seasons, and we just feel that this year is the year that we can kind of make a move and make some noise in the league in what's traditionally a pretty tough region to play in with as many teams as we play. So we're just looking really to kind of come in as the sleeper, I guess, and really make some noise. And I think so far so good. The press is nice, but at the same time we have to work on our goals, and we have a lot of goals as a team that we want to achieve throughout the season to make us better and lay the groundwork not only for this year but in the years to come.
In other high school ball last week, Gainesville clobbered 5A Central Gwinnett 10-0. The Red Elephants gave up only 1 hit in the win. Will Maddox went 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored, while Sloan Strickland and Ryan Griffith each had 3 RBI. Maddox stayed hot with 2 hits, 3 RBI, and 3 runs scored for the Red Elephants in a 10-0 win over Hart County. Pitcher David Gonzalez picked up the win with 7 strikeouts over 4 innings. Turning to college softball, sophomore catcher Morgan Smith went 5 for 6 at the plate and drove in 7 runs as the Brenau softball team swept a doubleheader over Emmanuel 8-0 in 5 and 9-1 in 6 innings. Anna Manus went the distance in the first game, striking out 6. Smith went 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer and 3 RBI. In the second game, Manus smacked a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 5th, and Ellen Black followed that up with another 2-run walk-off home run to end the game in the bottom of the 6th. Black went 3 for 4 with 4 RBI in that game, got the win on the mound with 5 strikeouts. Manus came in and struck out 2 to get the save. Smith went 3 for 3 with an RBI. Now the next time out, Black out of Stevens County picked up her 7th win of the season and blasted a 2-run homer to help lead Brenau to a 10-4 and 6-1 sweep of Bruton Parker. In the first game, Tiffany Shandera went 3 for 4 with a double and a home run, driving in 4 runs to lead the way offensively. Freshman phenom Manus went the distance on the mound, striking out 5. After a hit and 2 RBI in the first game, Sarah Applegarth continued her hot streak with a 3 for 4 performance at the plate and 2 more ribbies. In tournament play, the softball Tigers picked up 2 wins on the opening day of the Gulf Coast Invitational, defeating William Woods, Missouri 3-0 and handing Central Methodist Missouri their first loss 3-2 in an 8-inning tiebreaker. Manus and Black got the wins, with Manus also pitching relief in the nightcap. Shandera was 3 for 4 with an RBI in the first game. And then the Tigers entered bracket play as the number 1 seed by virtue of their 4-0 record and run score differential. Tigers pitched a pair of shutouts, defeating number 8 Martin Methodist 3-0 and coming back to beat LSU Alexandria 2-0. Manus pitched both games, striking out 12 batters on the way to the impressive victories. In the Martin Methodist game, Bernal picked up 5 hits, with Taylor Schrader leading the way with a 2 for 4 effort. Black was a big factor in the second win, going 3 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. Now, in bracket play, too bad the Tigers lost twice, dropped their season record to 18-3-1 overall. In the first game, they faced off against fellow SSAC member number 12 ranked Shorter, lost 2-0, and then they had a rematch with number 8 Martin Methodist, whom they defeated one day before. I just told you about that, and they came up short 1-0. Manus struck out 7 as she pitched both games. She also had a hit against Martin. Now, the GCI is the most prestigious NAIA softball tournament in the country, with 11 of the 27 teams ranked in the top 30. Now, for her performances, the Southern States Athletic Conference has named Manus as the softball pitcher of the week for last week. She had a great week on the mound. I just told you about that at the Gulf Coast Invitational. She pitched 40 scoreless innings with 43 strikeouts, defeating 2 conference opponents and beating number 8 Martin Methodist with a 4-hit shutout. She also earned her first save of the year against a team that's receiving national votes. She only allowed 3 runs, only 2 earned in the 2 narrow shutout losses, which were 2-0 and 1-0. Her overall record, 6 wins, 2 losses, and 1 save with an earned run average of .70. Anna Manus, quite a player. Got more sports for you in just a moment. Don't throw out your old shoes. Save your money and visit the Red Shoe House in Gainesville. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. They can repair almost anything. Men's shoes, ladies' shoes, sandals, western boots, uniform boots, equestrian tack, gloves, sports equipment. The Red Shoe House also offers cleaning and orthopedic shoe modifications. Don't need a repair? Come by and see their new line of accessories. Red Shoe House, 822 Oak Street in Gainesville. Phone 770-532-3772.
My name is Lloyd Smith.
I'm Renee Barnett.
My name's Alan Cudd.
My name's Don Cooper.
My name is Mike Stewart, and I attend McKever Road United Methodist Church, the church on the hill here in Oakwood, Georgia. We'd love for you to come join us.
This message has been brought to you by the people of the McKever Road United Methodist Church. Gary Cole, pastor.
We are back, Hall County Sports of the Show. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We turn to the men and women of steel for this particular segment. Now, weightlifting is an activity that almost all athletes use to train for their individual sports these days. But as regular viewers of this particular show know, it is also a sport in and of itself in various incarnations. Now, this past Saturday at Flowery Branch, they held an Olympic-style meet that involves the snatch and the clean and jerk. And with us now is the Branch's strength and conditioning coach and one of the coaches for Team Georgia Weightlifting, C.J. Stockley. C.J., before we turn the cameras on, you said this was a big meet. You had a lot of lifters from all over the country, really, huh?
Yeah, we did. As far north as West Virginia, 2 groups out of Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina. Fort Bragg brought some groups of the CrossFitters down. So it was a great opportunity besides the numbers that we have within the state of Georgia.
Now, you just have gotten back from Rochester, Minnesota, a meet that we mentioned on the show last week, and had some really good performances up there.
We had some outstanding performances up there.
National championships.
The junior national championship. So our kids who are 15, 16, 17 are competing against 19, 20-year-olds. My daughter in particular, Hope, broke the 14, 15-year-old snatch record for the 53 kilos, but the girls that were ahead of her or beat her were 20 and 19. She's 15.
Here you go.
You know, so, and she was pushing them. So that's kind of what we're looking for. But we had some great opportunity up there from different kids. Megan Poole, who right now is penciled in as one of the 2 or 3 girls who maybe get the single slot for the Youth World Olympics, which will be held in August. for the United States. So, and she's out of Chestatee High School. So we had some great opportunities up there. Kids took advantage of the situation they were given.
Now, how tough is it to do a national meet and then come back a matter of a week or so later and do another local meet? I mean, I'm a weightlifter. I do the powerlifting, and that would just wear me out.
Well, Gary, it's extremely difficult. But I tell you what, as proven last year when we held the school-age national championships, we have a huge volunteer base, and without those volunteers, parents, other coaches that come in to help, it wouldn't happen. You know, our meets are becoming quality meets. People know them all over the country. They come to these meets. They expect quality, and that's what we're able to reproduce because of the volunteers that we have.
Well, talk about some of the outstanding performances from this past weekend.
Well, we'll start with the girls on the bottom end. Ellen Kircher just 2 weeks ago competed in the Junior Nationals. She upped her total by 6 kilos. Now, you know how difficult that is.
That's about 15 pounds.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Exactly. So, and she's a 48-kilo lifter. And then you had my daughter who 2 weeks ago broke the snatch record. Well, Saturday, unofficially, because it's got to happen in a national championship, broke the clean and jerk record. She's clean and jerk in 67 kilos. She weighs 53. It's basically about 150 pounds what she's putting up. She weighs about 115.
Over her head.
Yeah, over her head, clean and jerk. So, you know, those things are those are exciting to watch. On the guys' side, we've got Jimmy McIntyre. Jimmy's a freshman. He's a 62-kilo lifter. He clean and jerked 95 kilos. We're talking 208-9 pounds. The kid weighs about 135 maybe, you know, and he's just a freshman.
Yeah.
You know, also Jake Mathis may have broken, we're still trying to make this right, but I believe he broke the school record for the clean and jerk. He is an 85-kilo lifter, weighs 185 pounds. He clean and jerked 308 pounds, 140 kilos.
Wow.
And the clean was a piece of cake. In 2 weeks, we're going to do what we call the Night of Champions on a Thursday night. We're going to test. I believe this sophomore will break Daniel Drummond's clean record at the high school. So, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, Drummond at Georgia Tech, yeah.
He's at Georgia Tech, yeah. So special things there. Newcomers, Jeremiah Words, Jonathan Frick stepped in and got their feet wet, did an excellent job. Frick won the 105 plus heavyweights with a 121-kilo clean and jerk. You know, so, and it's his first opportunity in there. From the other side, and I say other side, Chestatee, the other side of the county, Stan Luttrell's got his kids going real well. George Ashworth, who turned around and competed 2 weeks ago in the Junior Nationals, totaled 180 kilos. He's a 62-kilo lifter. He clean and jerked 100 and snatched 80. Great lifts right there. Tim Sullins, who didn't make the juniors, had a great meet here, totaling 220 kilos. You know, and you know, Ed Baker, who's just a phenomenal lifter.
Mm-hmm.
Last year at the juniors, went this year to the 17 and under team to Chile. He clean and jerked 157 kilos, and when you're talking about that, you're roughly about 350 pounds. And he doesn't really do a split jerk; he just does a power jerk. Puts it on his shoulders and just quick dip drive, pops it overhead, and it's phenomenal to watch him lift.
Wow.
You know. These kids are understanding the transition to their other games that they play, whether my daughter is softball, some of the other girls play volleyball, you know, Stan's guys are football and wrestlers, and, you know, they understand how that's transferring into their game and becoming better athletes.
Wow. So in the short time we've got left, what's ahead for you now? What's coming up next?
May 1st will be the state championship in Olympic weightlifting. It will be held at Flowery Branch again. Last year we had over 100 lifters here. We expect to do it again. That's what's coming up. And then at the end of June, we expect to take about 25 to 30 kids to San Francisco to compete for the school-age national championship, again as a team. Our competition is hassle-free weightlifting out of San Francisco. What a better name for somebody out of San Francisco. They're great kids. They're like us. They're a conglomeration of a bunch of different schools from Sacramento all the way up to San Francisco. And they've got great lifters too. So, and our kids know each other through the internet now and through Facebook. They keep up with each other.
Sure.
So it's a great opportunity for those kids.
All right. CJ, thanks for coming in.
Gary, thank you. And
Good
thank
luck.
you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Now, before we leave weightlifting, high school weightlifting, it's a slightly different style than what we're talking about here. West Hall's Logan Herford won the Area 2 title in the 140 and under class with a bench press of 235, a power clean of 225, and a squat of 335 pounds. Logan now gets a chance to go on to the state meet this coming Saturday, March 20th in Hawkinsville. He's also a pretty decent wrestler for the Spartans, by the way. We hit the links and more when we continue.
Hi folks, Butch Miller from Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville. You may be asking yourself, why drive to Gainesville to buy a new car? Well, the answer is obvious. First, we sell Hondas, one of the best cars in the world. Next, we're known for incredibly low prices, offering you more money for your trade-in and treating you the way you like to be treated. We're easy to get to from either Georgia 400 or I-985 on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. And remember folks, if you think you can get a better deal on a better car at Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, you got that right.
Are you struggling to get where you really want to be in life? Then get on the fast track to success at Lanier Technical College with 5 campuses, day, evening, and online classes, and many tuition fees paid for by the Hope Grant. There's no better way to get where you really want to be. Now more than ever, high-paying employers are looking for highly trained individuals with hands-on technical training. So stop struggling and get moving. Lanier Technical College. Get ready. Go!
We are back, and golf from the basketball courts to the links. Johnson's Grant Cagle made himself felt in his individual win at the Hall County Championships, shooting a 70 over 2 days and leading his team to a win as well at Royal Lakes. The Knights shot a school record 147 over 9 holes last Tuesday. The Gainesville boys were 12 strokes back in second place, and North Hall was third, paced by Landry Haynes, second place 74. It was a three-peat for the Knights and their coach, Jeff Steele. All right, Jeff, third county championship in a row. That's pretty cool.
We're impressed and we're happy. Our kids, it means a lot to our kids. Hopefully this can propel us into a state berth for a change here at Johnson. Some really good teams, though. I mean, North Hall, Gainesville, and as far as our region tournament goes, Lumpkin's a really good team. So winning Hall County, you know, for 3 years in a row is a big accomplishment for us. Plus, we shot a school record 147 that final day. So we ended on a good note. It was awesome.
And that's kind of been the thing, though, that you have really wanted. You know, you start out like this, you win it, you go against some really good teams, and then for some reason or the other, and golf's a funny game like that, you don't play teams, you play a course. Right. But that is really a goal for the kids this year to get to state, isn't it?
It is. I mean, like Grant's never been there. He was a low medalist in Hall County, shot a 70, and I'd love for him to get to go. He deserves it. He works really hard. Well, they all work hard, Gary, and you know, it was a plus having the tournament on our home course. I mean, we know the course better than anybody, but you still have to play it, and everybody plays us under the same conditions, and we're really pleased to get that three-peat.
Let's talk about Grant for a minute. He comes straight off the basketball court. I mean, he's a great basketball player, and he's a really fine golfer too, but that's kind of cool that he's able to shift gears, and the sports are so totally different.
Exactly, but he's such a natural at golf, and actually, Gary, I think it helped him to not feel the stress of it, maybe because we were still in basketball. It didn't consume his thoughts or anything. He just got out there and did what he does best.
Congratulations and good luck.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Now on the girls' side at Hall County, Gainesville won it over West Hall. The Lady Elephants' Cameron Cole, competing in her first tournament since an injury last November, shot an 84 over 2 days to take the individual title by 8 strokes over West Hall's Mallory Smith. That was, by the way, that was Cameron Cole's 4th straight county title. Over the weekend, Cameron shot a 5 over par 75 to finish second individually and lead the Gainesville Lady Red Elephants to a second-place team finish at the Lady Warrior Spring Swing at Mossy Creek in Cleveland. For the boys this past weekend, Ryan Matthews scored 39 points to lead North Hall to a 6th-place finish in the Gwinnett Open and Winder. Jimmy Lloyd and Landry Haynes both had 34 points in the tournament, which used the Stableford scoring method. All right, let's turn to soccer. North Georgia Christian's girls got scoring from 4 different players in a 4-0 win over Rabun Gap and going to 3-0 on the year. Chesterton's girls beat Lakeview 4-0 last week. Morgan Dooley had 2 goals. Kelsey Newcomb assisted on one of those and also scored one of her own. Now, earlier this week, the Chesterton boys battled North Hall back and forth all game long. It looked to be headed to overtime, but Saddam Garcia, with just 2 seconds left to play in regulation, dug deep, and he and his teammates mounted a last-ditch attack with a game-winning goal for a 1-0 Chesterton victory. Sanchez got another win in goal. Elsewhere, North Hall swept Lumpkin County. Allie Wright had the hat trick in the girls' 5-0 win. Miguel Morales and Marcos Llanes had 2 each in the boys' 5-2 victory. Flowery Branches girls got a late goal from Cassidy Elrod and an assist from Lindsey Porter to beat number 3 Salem 2-1. Porter had scored unassisted earlier. Lauren Dunn had 17 saves in goal, and the Falcon boys made it a sweep with a 6-1 win. The 5th-ranked Gainesville boys shut out number 10 Lambert 2-0 as the Elephants remained unbeaten. Goalie Marco Monreal got the shutout. Gainesville's girls beat East Hall 5-1 later in the week. Maggie Norton had a couple of goals for the winners. Riverside played Hebron Christian, and after 80 minutes of regulation and 2 5-minute overtime periods, it wound up a 2-2 tie. Clinton Hawkins, the hero of the game for the Eagles, scoring both goals, scoring the first on an unassisted corner kick, bouncing a shot off the inside of the goalpost. Victor Salcido recorded 6 saves in the game, with 2 of them coming late in the game to preserve the tie. Eagles closed out the week of soccer with a soggy, dominating 5-1 win versus Lakeview at home. West Hall's boys got 2 goals each from Luis Cervantes, Jose Vargas, and Felix Ramirez and beat White County 10-0. Spartan goalies Ishmael Miranda and Darwin Mejia combined for the shutout. The win by the West Hall girls over the Warriors made it a sweep. Monica Pascal scored all 3 goals as she got the hat trick in their 3-1 victory. And Juan Morfin had the hat trick in the Johnson boys' 3-2 win over Flowery Branch. Night goalie Josh Martin had 9 saves. In tennis, the Johnson boys edged Flowery Branch 3-2. The Lady Falcons beat the Lady Knights 5-love, while West Hall's boys beat West Forsyth 4-1. On the college front, the number 7 Brenau tennis team had 2 impressive wins over ranked opponents in the AUM Spring Invitational. The Tigers defeated number 10 Oklahoma Christian 5-4 and came back to win over number 15 Lindsey Wilson 5-3. Playing their 3rd-ranked team in a row, Brenau made short work of Xavier, Louisiana with a convincing 5-1 victory. Tigers moved their season record to 6-5 with their 3rd straight win and played outstanding tennis in the prestigious tournament. All 6 of the teams in the tourney ranked in the NAIA's top 25. In track and field, 2 more school records for North Hall's Ty McCormick. He broke the 1,600-meter mark with a 4:23 and broke his own 3,200-meter record with a 9:08.38. Both times good enough for seconds in the Georgia Challenge track and field meet at Mill Creek. Jordan Chafin reset the school's 200-meter dash record with a 22:94, while Peyton Wilhoit's discus throw of 1:58.11 was also good enough for a silver spot, and Ben Booth finished 4th in the pole vault at 12 feet even. All of that was good enough for the North Hall boys to finish 8th in a field of 40. The Trojan girls ran 11th out of 41 teams. All right, time now to name our athletes of the week for last week. For their Hall County Golf Championships, our male athlete of the week is Grant Cagle of Johnson High School, our female Cameron Cole of Gainesville High. All right, some other stuff for you. East Hall senior Drew Adams has signed on to play baseball next season for Gordon College's baseball program in Barnesville. As a junior, Drew led the Vikes with a .427 batting average, 4 home runs, and 30 RBI, and was named the team MVP. He's currently a team captain for the Vikings for this season. Adams also a member of Team Elite during the summer, where he hit .418 and played 3rd base. Adams was named to the All-Area team both his sophomore and junior seasons. Well, we told you about it last week, but here's the picture. Despite being bit by the injury bug, Johnson linebacker Gilberto Espinosa attracted enough attention to get an offer from Belhaven College in Mississippi. Good luck to him as he continues his football career. Truett McConnell freshman Simone Hampton was named to the National Christian College Athletic Association's All-Region basketball team last week. Simone's a graduate of East Hall High School and led the Lady Bears in scoring with 13 points a game and rebounding with almost 7 a game. The 8-year-old Martin Marlins won their 2nd straight youth group Hall County Basketball Championship. That happened late last month. Congratulations to the Little Marlins. In kids wrestling, Caleb Little out of North Hall Middle School got the Triple Crown with state championships in all 3 styles of wrestling in the 12 and under 90-pound class. Folk style, freestyle, Greco-Roman, won them all. He also got the 5-point throw award for taking the 2009 Southeast Regionals in freestyle and Greco-Roman. That was Caleb's 2nd straight state title and 3rd overall. Also, Chase Piperato from Davis Middle won his 2nd straight state title in the 14 and under 80-pound division. And Corey Reese, who is a champion powerlifter, was 2nd in the 14 and under 210 class. Michael Carew was runner-up in the 12 and under 90-pound division, and Grant Simons took the silver in the 12 and under 180-pound class. All of those guys out of North Hall Middle School, the ones I mentioned there at the last. And speaking of wrestling, former Johnson coach, now at Jefferson, Doug Thurman, has another accolade to add to his Hall of Fame honors and all of those titles and all the other stuff he's been honored with. Doug was just named the Coach of the Decade by the Georgia High School Association. Well, as you may remember, the Dragons just won their 10th straight traditional wrestling title after winning their 9th straight state duels championship. In fact, since the duels championship has been in place, Jefferson has won every time they've entered. Pretty impressive. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.